past 2 months of arguing about a border wall have not made the country any safer, but they have exposed the real nature of the debate. On the left, the mask is off. Progressives no longer pretend that they want a secure border. Nothing is more American, they tell us, than having no control over who lives in America. Walls are not just expensive, they are evil. Walls are not who we are, they constantly remind us without explaining what that means. Last night, while the president spoke to an event in El Paso, an unemployed, semi-coherent, life-ravaged Beto O'Rourke interrupted his one-man road trip to hold a counter-rally nearby. In between tugs on what may or may not have been a 40-ounce scuba tank of malt liquor, O'Rourke raved that walls are more than just immoral. They're deadly. Walls may look harmless, even charming, but like Ted Bundy, they kill people.
Here, in one of the safest cities in the United States of America, not because of walls, but in spite of walls. We know that walls do not save lives. Walls end lives.
Beto O'Rourke. Next time your church has a warm coat drive, give one for Beto. Well, walls end lives. That's what he said. They're murderers. You'd think that would be the final word on walls. Once you accuse a wall of being a homicidal maniac, what else is there to say? Can you be worse than a murderer? Turns out you can. Not only do walls kill, the media told us this week, but they are hardened racists as well. Every wall is like a cinder block Bull Connor. Watch the mouth breathers of cable television explain.
It's not about some flood of killers and gangsters, the brown menace, as I call what the president is pandering.
To blatantly attempt to stir up fear of people of color, of brown people, as my colleague Chris calls it, the brown menace that he's trying to scare you with.
The wall is kind of a metaphor for Donald Trump's presidency. The foundation of the wall is hate. It's fear.
Yep.
And it becomes fear of the other. And then it becomes fear of brown people. And it becomes fear of caravans and fear of invasion.
We need an IQ test in cable TV. We can't just give these jobs to anybody. Is there like some kind of lottery for these jobs? Anyway, deadly, bigoted, terrifying. That's what the left says it thinks of border walls. And yet, amazingly, as of tonight, Democrats in Congress have agreed to pay for one, sort of, a version of one, really. Congressional negotiators say they are willing to give the president $1.3 billion for a border barrier. That's a quarter of what he asked for. It's slightly less than Democrats offered back in December before the government shutdown. The money could only be used on existing fence concepts along about 50 miles of border. That's not much, admittedly. But given the rhetoric, it's more than you might have expected. What's not in the deal so far? Well, there's no universal E-Verify. That would prevent employers from hiring illegal immigrant labor. There's nothing to deter sanctuary cities or otherwise enhance enforcement of our immigration laws. On the other hand, there's also no amnesty for DACA recipients or anyone else. Democrats are trying to restrict funding for ICE detention beds, but ICE will still exist if this deal is signed. The president said he's disappointed in the terms, but at this point he seems unlikely to veto it. This is not the end of the debate over border security. As long as the Democratic Party says it believes that locking your door at night is an expression of hate and fear, this will continue.